Billy Zappe is on the active roster for the Patriots. Or Bailey Zapp. Ugh.
Billy Zappe.
You know who I think of every time I say his name?
Billy Zappe.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zappe.
I tried. Okay, I tried.
Bailey Zappi. Anyway,
I think of Billy Zane. That's every time.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is by you. Welcome back to the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast, Ball State's premier sports podcast. I'm your host, per usual, all the time, Andy Newman. Alongside me, per usual, all the time, Daniel Keene.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
thank
awesome.
you, thank you.
I think we should go back and forth on the intros.
Thank you. I like it.
We're
Yeah.
really good at this.
Okay.
I think we've truly perfected this as a craft.
I believe so.
If you have not understood already through our live, it is Tuesday. It's
It
not
is.
Monday.
No.
So here's what happened. I have a 10 a.m. class on Mondays, and it's with a good professor, but a very tough professor here at Ball State University. And once I go to his class, it makes it really easy for me to do everything else in the day because I'm already on campus. But yesterday, he canceled class, so I didn't go. And when I'm here, I was like, the next class, it's not really attendance required. So I was like, okay, I won't go to that. Maybe I'll just go for a run today. I ran 8 miles, really fun. And then when I got back to my house, Andy,
I ran 8 miles, really fun.
it was really fun.
What?
It was a good 8 miler.
What?
Except when I got back, I had a missed call from Andy, and he goes, "Pod?"
Yeah.
So
You sad.
I completely forgot. Super apologies. We're doing a little, but then we're sitting down to re-record today to kind of make up for the schedule. And Andy goes, "Actually, this might work a little better."
It might. Yes.
Going forward, we're gonna do 2
Tuesday-
p.m.
Tuesdays
on-
at 2.
Tuesdays at 2.
2.
Ooh, it's an alliteration.
Yes.
That's what I like to hear.
Tuesdays at 2.
Tuesdays at 2. But yeah, how was your weekend, Andy? How was your weekend?
Not too bad. I went out to the football game on Saturday for the first home Ball State football game of the season. Enjoyed that a lot. Got to go on the sidelines, shoot some video of the game. I'm doing a story about Charlie tonight for Newslink, Indiana. Shout out Newslink. Watch Newslink. Yay. No, it was a good weekend. Watched some football. Notre Dame did very well at football again, so I'm liking that a lot. And then NFL Sunday was NFL Sunday, per usual. I like saying per usual today. I don't know why that's on the top of my brain when I'm talking words and saying things. But yeah, no, good another great weekend of football. I can't say that I was exactly thrilled that the Colts won this weekend, by the way.
You weren't thrilled?
No, I mean, I'd rather, if Anthony Richardson isn't going to play, I'd rather lose. I mean, we're not going to win anything. So, it helps the brand more to lose.
Okay.
It does. I mean, that's just me. I don't really know. I gave up on the season so hard already, so there's really no reason for me to be like, yeah, no, let's get back into maybe thinking we could do anything because we're not going to.
Okay, so let's just deep dive into the NFL now. This is going to be a primarily NFL show today, but that's okay.
Can we run a little bit of college just real quick?
Oh, college football?
Yeah, real quick.
Sure, hit
real
me.
quick. Watch that Colorado game up until 2:30 in the morning. Bliss. Football from 12 to 2:30 is just it's something. It's another feeling. I don't know what it is.
I have an opinion about this.
You hate it? You
No,
like it?
no,
Okay,
no.
good, good.
I
I'm
love
about to say.
a long game.
Good.
Let me
Yes.
tell you, one of my best, and I've mentioned it on this podcast before, but it is so good I'll mention it again. One of my favorite sporting moments in my lifetime was watching the World Cup final with my mom.
Okay.
And my mom doesn't watch soccer as often as I do.
Which World Cup final?
The 2022 World Cup final.
Oh, yeah, I watched that. It was
France. We talked about it on
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
Shout out watching that episode.
Yeah. But I watched it with my mom, who doesn't always watch soccer, but when I'm there, she'll watch soccer with me. And it was a quintessential game. It was back and forth. It was overtime. It was penalties. It was Messi's first World Cup. I love a good game that goes late. My thing with it is, though, Colorado's ranked 18th in the country, was ranked 18th in the country going in.
Yeah.
And they're playing Colorado State, which, with all due respect to Colorado State, especially where Deion Sanders is taking the direction of the Colorado program, Colorado State's kind of the little brother.
Oh, very true.
Unranked team who really isn't that good at football.
Nope.
And you almost lost to them. And 2, when you did beat them, you rushed the field. I don't think you should rush the field after a win like that.
Wait, Colorado rushed the field?
Colorado rushed the field
Oh,
after the win.
lame.
That's
Yeah.
like if Michigan beats Appalachian State,
or,
which
yeah.
well, no, if Michigan beats Michigan State, especially if it's a close game, there's
Yeah.
always that rivalry. Speaking of Michigan State, Mel Tucker got fired. Good for I mean.
Continue.
Yeah, I would use like more expletives, but we're a family friendly show.
Expletives. Whatever. That's not a okay. Continue.
Explicit verbiage. Let's
There
go with
we
that.
go. Yes.
But we are a clean show. Either way. But like Michigan State is like a little bit of a bigger rivalry, even though Michigan State's not really a football school right now. It's kind of like they're favored, but it's still a rivalry. With Colorado State, I just don't think you rush the field there.
It's not that big of a. I mean, maybe for them it is. I don't know. I'm not. Again, I'm not from Colorado. I can't claim to be from Colorado. I've been to Colorado.
I've actually never been to Colorado.
It's great.
I think I want to make a trip out there.
It is actually. I would highly recommend.
Where do you want to move when you graduate? Do you want to stay in Indiana?
Yes.
Oh, forever?
Yes.
You just love it. Back home again in Indiana?
Yes. I love the Sycamores and the Wabash and the burning light under the moonlight or whatever. What's that?
Hey, I'm not from here, bro.
I know. It's the I keep forgetting that sometimes. You know what I'm referring to, right?
Can you do the song yet?
Back home again.
Yeah, I know the song, but I didn't get that part.
Burning candlelight.
No, I would like to move probably to the
Still burning bright. Wait.
Where are you at right now?
I don't know.
I would probably want to move to the Pacific Northwest when I graduate. But I definitely
Oregon.
That area.
Portland?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Big Portland guy?
Well, I know. My viewpoint is one, climate seems pretty cool over there. Area seems pretty cool over there. And
Portland.
I'm close to a handful of national parks that I've not checked off my bucket list yet.
There we go. Okay.
So basically, the plan would be live in the Pacific Northwest for 5 years and just check off all the
but then move back to Michigan.
Well, we'll see.
Well, yeah.
I definitely want to retire in Michigan on a Great Lake for sure.
Like living in the middle of Lake Michigan.
Yep,
Just like
I want to
like
just
a house,
plop in the middle, like
yeah,
right in the middle of the
like,
lake,
just-
right in the middle of the lake.
I'd
Andy.
retire there.
In the middle of a lake.
Yeah. Boat. Houseboat. There are houseboats.
It was the silence and then boat.
Boat.
Okay, but yeah, back to Colorado. It's like when the Colts beat the Texans this weekend. If the Colts fans rushed the field like that, it's kind of stupid to me.
Sure, that's a great segue.
But that is a great segue. We'll start with the Colts.
We will. Will we?
We'll start with the Colts.
Just for you, because I know you don't want to start with the Lions. That sucks.
You didn't have to bring it up.
We're going to at some point.
Yeah, but you didn't have to bring it up.
It will be brought up. It's being brought up right now.
Okay.
So starting with the Colts.
Starting with the Colts.
Good game. It was honestly low-key a boring game at the same time. Anthony Richardson popped off 2 touchdowns in the first quarter and then slammed his head on the ground, and everyone said, well, you're done. That was actually super neat to at least see him actually do that. Clearly, he's the only player on our team that is worth anything on offense, other than our O-line, which is apparently still doing okay, at least.
They looked all right.
They're fine.
I mean, they didn't look like how much they're getting paid, but they looked all right.
By the way, this is an absolutely insane stat that one of the people over at the Daily News, also one of my friends as well, Elijah Poe, brought up to me.
Big guy.
Yes,
E-Poe.
big fan of Elijah Poe. Shout out Elijah.
Elijah needs to be on the pod.
Yes, he does. I do believe he does.
Let's put out the call.
Yes.
Let's put up the bat signal.
Bat signal. Whatever. Anyway, Elijah said that Alec Pierce, currently listed as the Colts' number 2 wide receiver on the team, was on 100% of offensive snaps. He did not miss a single snap for the entire game. Was targeted twice.
I'm not surprised.
Twice.
I'm not surprised.
How can your number 2 receiver be targeted twice in a whole game on 100% of offensive snaps?
I'm not surprised.
That is insane, though. Like, how bad? How bad is Alec Pierce? How bad? I don't know, man. I'm disappointed I thought he was going to do pretty okay. I guess we probably should have drafted George Pickens. I don't know if that would have really worked out super well, though. But yeah, no. Anthony Richardson getting hurt also does not bode well for the fact that he's just running around getting hurt all the time. I think Michael Strahan and the boys at Fox were talking about that as well, about like the concern of like, hey, he needs to realize that he's not like playing with 20-year-olds, 20-year-olds,
He's a
and
franchise
19-year-olds.
guy now.
Yes, he's playing with grown men that will smack him to the ground and whip his head back. So, I don't know. He's no longer big boy on campus.
A little bit of learning
Yes.
should be in there. But
Gotta protect yourself.
I think Minshew did well to hold off the Texans comeback.
Minshew did exactly what we're paying him money for. Come into the game and just win it.
I honestly, I won't lie to you,
yeah.
and we'll get to this when we get to our little segment
Game
towards
manager.
the end. But I think Minshew performed very well in that position.
No, he did.
And I think other teams would even look at him as their starting quarterback.
I would no joke say that there are some teams like the Cardinals.
Cardinals? Yeah.
You're telling me the Cardinals wouldn't run with Minshew over Josh Dobbs? Yeah, they would.
Speaking of the Cardinals, let's bounce down to that game because shout out Uncle Brian. The Giants went 6 quarters of football without scoring
a score
to start the season, and then in those two quarters, so 6 of the 8 quarters that the Giants have played this year, they have not scored a single point. But in 2 of those quarters, in those last 2 quarters, they scored 31 points to come back and beat the Cardinals. It's not a lot to beat the Cardinals, but when you're getting shut out at halftime, to come back and beat the Cardinals is better. It is better.
It's still bad.
Yeah, but I mean, Daniel Jones led the NFL with a passer rating.
Daniel Jones
PFF
popped off
grade
in the
this
second
week.
half of that game. Like,
Just saying.
bro basically scored all 30 of my fantasy points in one half. Imagine if he does that 2 halves.
Wait, you started Daniel Jones in your fantasy league?
Yes.
Hey, it worked out.
It did. Well, here's the thing. While I was drafting, I go, all right, guys, do I draft Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones? And everyone's like, probably should draft Anthony Richardson. And I said, nah, and drafted Daniel Jones instead.
Okay.
I don't, at this moment, I'm kind of still regretting my decision. It probably should have been the Anthony Richardson pick. But Daniel Jones is doing well. It's not last week at all, but this week good.
This week good.
This week good. Last week bad.
Did good. Did good.
Did good.
Not bad.
Shout out to Pat McAfee's new censor for ESPN, Dick Good. I don't know. Did good and Dick Good sound good. That's the guy's name, though.
I am aware.
Isn't that crazy?
I am aware.
The censor.
Totally out of pocket.
I know. The censor for, like, I don't know, whatever. They're still, love Pat McAfee show, by the way. That guy is on the top of the world right now. Like, talking to The Rock, banging the anvil at Colts games.
He's a cool guy.
He's one of the most famous people in the world.
Quick question relating to the Arizona Cardinals, though.
Yeah.
They're 0-2.
Yes.
And this is one of those teams that even, like,
number one pick.
There's teams that are 0-2 right now where you're like, okay, they'll come back. They'll have a couple wins.
Yeah.
There's teams like the
Bengals.
Cardinals where you're kind of like, they're 0-2 right now. When's their win coming? Because here's their next 3-4 games.
Okay.
Cowboys.
Nope.
49ers.
Nope. Oh, my God.
Bengals. If the Bengals don't get their stuff together.
They will.
Yeah. Rams. And then Seahawks. And then Ravens, and then Browns, and then Falcons. Browns is probably a winnable game for them, especially given
Browns and Falcons both are.
But yeah, that's gonna be.
I don't know if
tough.
they do, though.
That's gonna be tough if you take the bus. You know, it's gonna be tough if you take the bus to work. But going
You
to
got fire in your gut?
you got fire in your gut?
No.
No.
If I'm on the Cardinals, no, I don't.
No, I do not. But going back to the beginning of the week, Thursday Night Football, Eagles-Vikings, really good game. It was a good game.
Yeah, no.
Good to watch.
It looked like it was going to be a blowout for a while.
That
then,
Vikings-
Then Big Kirko woke up dripping like this, came back a little bit, but not enough.
That Vikings defense is
bad.
in tatters right now.
Tatters?
Is tatters a word? Tatters?
Shatters. No.
No, tatters. Tatters. A piece of cloth,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
paper, or
Yes.
other material.
Yes.
He was
Good.
As an example, he
That
was
works.
forced to wear rags and tatters.
Yes. It just sounded weird.
Definitely,
but I knew,
definitely
yeah.
not a good word choice, but it
It
is
works.
an
I
actual
know-
word.
I know what you were referring to as well.
Yeah, you win some, you lose
It's a phrase.
some. Then
Continue.
Ravens Bengals. Lamar Jackson finally came through for me in fantasy. The first week he went for 6 points. This week he went for 26.8. I'm pretty okay with that.
26.8. Wow.
Yeah. I literally was thinking about it because my backup quarterback is Bryce Young. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
T. Higgins went from recording no stats at all last week to 89 yards and 2 tutties.
Did good.
Shout out T.
Did good. Honestly, the Ravens look legit.
Every year
they look legit in the regular season.
Yeah.
I know, but this year specifically, I think that you could set the expectation of an AFC championship, and the Ravens could meet that expectation.
Whoa.
Last year, the Ravens did great, but I did not think they were an AFC championship team.
Okay.
So we'll see about that.
Fine. Ravens, Dolphins, AFC championship.
Ravens, Dolphins.
Ravens, Colts.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Next year, maybe.
Nope. No.
Maybe when your kid graduates high school. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Just down the road. I'm getting a death stare right now.
Oh my God. 25 years.
Speaking of when will they win a championship? We've put this off too long. Lions lost to the Seahawks in overtime, and here's the thing.
Womp.
Here's the thing.
Womp.
I didn't see a lot of bad in the game, but I didn't see a lot of good. I don't think this is definitely not sound the alarms, but as I mentioned last week, I was expecting
a W.
I wasn't just expecting a W. I was expecting
a blowout W.
I was expecting a dub. Like, like
Lions win.
Let's put 50 on them type dub.
Whoa.
I was really, and you know what?
Nope.
The crowd at Ford Field broke the attendance record. Super loud, electric energy in there. Team on the field did not soak it up as much as I thought. But hey, we're 1-1.
Because you don't have Jamal Williams.
No.
Yeah.
I know. But we might not have David Montgomery either now. But
oh, wait, really?
Yeah, he got injured. It's quad questionable. I think he'll be back. Yeah, you know what? Let's just call a spade a spade. The NFL overtime rules are horrible. Can we say that?
I thought, yeah. Why? Just because it was an automatic touchdown, so game over.
Automatic touchdowns, game over. We talked about this. We talked about this.
I know.
Last season, every time it happens, even when it doesn't happen to my team, every time it happens, I think it's a stupid rule. It's a stupid rule. Makes no sense to me.
My thought process with that. I mean, this is going to be brief because we've already talked about this before, and it's not really what we're talking about at the moment. But my thought process is, if we're just adding it and treating it like another quarter, why is there another coin toss? Why shouldn't we just it should be another quarter, not another game. You know
yeah.
So
play to a fifth quarter.
Literally, so just add another 15 minutes on the clock, and whatever the team was doing right there.
You know how like football or baseball goes to the 10th inning? Let's go to the fifth quarter.
So like whoever had the ball just continues that, and just play it like another quarter. We just add extra time, just like soccer or whatever.
And then after that,
if it's still tied.
One team has a designated non-kicker kicker, and the two non-kickers start at the 5-yard line, and they each kick a field goal. And if they both make it, they go back to the 10-yard line. And if they each make it, they go back to the 20-yard line. And basically, two non-kickers have a kickoff. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
That sounds terrible.
No, it wouldn't.
It's Quentin Nelson kicking a field goal to make the Colts win.
Absolutely.
No,
I would love that.
Send the Colts to the playoffs. Quentin Nelson, wide left.
I would love that.
No.
Next game on the docket, I'm a big fan of this one. 27-17, Bucks beat the Bears. Bears start 0-2.
The Bucks are 2-0.
I say it every time his name comes up. I'm a big Baker Mayfield guy. I'm a big Baker Mayfield guy.
2-0.
2-0.
2-0 is nuts.
26 for 34, 317 yards, 1 touchdown.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
Baker.
Pretty good on top of last year's. Also, Mike Evans, listen to this stat line. 6 receptions for 171 yards and 1 touchdown.
People thought Mike Evans was going to have like a down year.
No, he's
like,
not.
Don't pick Mike Evans. Pick Mike Evans.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
Honestly, I think the whole of the Buccaneers organization is pretty happy with where they are at right now. And I would be too. I have Rachaad White in my fantasy team, and he popped off. He did really. He's my flex running back right now. So my league's weird. I told you about this off pod, but it was like you get a QB, 2 running backs, a tight end, 3 wide receivers, and then 3 flex positions. No kicker, no defense. So he was my flex running back this week, and I loved him. But he's going to be the starting running back next week. Like, he's earning that spot.
Who?
Rashad White.
I thought he was already the starting running back.
No, sorry. In my fantasy team.
I was like, what?
Not on the team. He is the starting running back right now.
I was not getting that. Okay, my bad.
But
Sorry.
honestly, go Bucks. Like, I'll be a Bucks guy. I'll hop on the Baker Mayfield bandwagon. I loved what he said week one. After week one, he basically went in the postgame and he was like, yeah, I had their defense. Like, I knew it. I knew it at halftime. Like, we were okay. Like, I love that because the backup and the third string quarterback are dedicated standing on the sideline, looking across the field, trying to understand the defense. And you've got Baker Mayfield, who's in the game, who's playing in the game, dissecting the defense, and is able to communicate that to his entire offense at halftime. That's not what they expect of Baker Mayfield. People think Baker Mayfield's a gunslinger. He's just going to go out there and play hard and play tough.
Johnny Manziel.
He's like, they think of him kind of like Johnny Manziel, when in reality, guy
pulls up.
Guy can wake up and he can feel dangerous.
Guy can wake up. Oh, we get feeling dangerous.
Feeling dangerous.
Or dripping like this.
Love that soundbite.
Big Kirk.
Chiefs get back in the win column against the Jaguars. This game.
Lame game.
What?
Lame game.
It was pretty lame, but it was kind of confusing.
Lame game.
It was kind of confusing to me. It was pretty boring, but
lame.
Like, Mahomes had 305, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Trevor Lawrence had 22 of 41 for 216 yards. Like, both teams played well. It just wasn't a high-scoring game.
Sky Moore had 3 receptions for 70 yards.
Let's not talk about Sky Moore because I benched him this week and he outperformed 2 of my wide receivers.
No.
Because I started him week 1 and he went for less than a point.
Did he have negative points?
He went for less than a point. He had like 0.8 points or something.
Okay.
And I was like, what are we doing here? And then I bench him and he comes right back at it. So yeah, I'm very up and down on my fantasy team right now, if you cannot tell already.
I could, yeah.
Speaking of the Chiefs, so did you hear about Patrick Mahomes' restructured deal?
Yes, money more.
He's going to basically get 216 between now and 2025, I think it was. I
didn't really look a whole lot into it.
Well, yeah, but do you remember his original contract? It was like 10 years, $500 million or something?
Yes.
Or it was like $500 million over 10 years?
Correct.
At the time, that was gargantuan. Like, that was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. But very quickly, he became like not like still cracking the top 10.
Yeah.
No, the top 5.
Top 5.
And basically, the Chiefs did what they did a good thing here where they were like, yeah, we got to pay him. We got to keep him happy.
Oh, of course.
Imagine if the Chiefs ever have to trade Patrick Mahomes or if he ever leaves.
No.
We should spend an episode doing like the most wild hypothetical NFL moves. That would be one of them.
I got one.
Which is?
Tom Brady comes back, plays for the Jets.
No, actually, that's like conceivable right now, though. Like, I could totally see that happening.
It's not going to.
Another game that makes me happy because an NFC North team lost. The Falcons beat the Packers, and you know who the star of the show was? Who was your star of the show?
I thought you said, you know what the start of the show was. Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is by you. I do know the
star of the show in the win, and I'm going to say it was Bijan Robinson.
I was going to say it was Bijan Robinson.
19 carries, 124 yards. Guy is playing well. Also, quietly, Desmond Ridder is not doing that bad.
1 TD, 1 interception ratio isn't that fantastic, though.
No, but 230.
Jordan Love, 3 TDs.
3 TDs. Jordan, honestly, and I hate to say it, but Jordan Love might be the franchise in Green Bay. Like, he looks good. When Aaron Rodgers was still there and they played him, when Aaron Rodgers was hurt that one game, he looked abysmal. He looked absolute bust-worthy. This year, he's looking good. I think that's like the confidence of a starting quarterback. But Falcons get the win.
Can networks start flexing the Jets at a prime time now, you think? Like,
I don't think they flex till week 7. But you want them to flex now?
There is no reason to have there's like 5 primetime games that the Jets are in, and the NFL is like probably in panic mode because Zach Wilson is going to be the starting quarterback in all of them.
I was watching. We'll see how they do.
Because Tony Romo and Jim Nantz are on the call for the Jets and Cowboys game. Mm-hmm. And I know that they were like, this is not what we wanted to see at all.
Yeah.
Which is depressing.
But back to the Falcons. Falcons had a great comeback in that game, though. Like, I was pretty excited about that. But good game, nevertheless. Next up, Bills-Raiders. The Bills are going to be just fine.
Told you.
Like, there were some overreactions after week 1, but the Bills are going to be just fine. Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders, maybe not so much.
But hey, they're 1-1.
They are also 1-1.
They're 1-1.
Like,
They're 500.
at the end of the day, it's week 2. Like,
Yep.
can't. But Josh Allen, 274, 3 touchdowns. Good.
Good.
Very good.
Good.
Gabe Davis gives me a lot of Chris Evans
Do not like Gabe Davis.
vibes. Why? Or
He was
Mike
on-
Evans. Why did I say Chris Evans?
Yeah.
Chris
I don't know.
Godwin, Mike Evans.
Got it.
Um,
Chris Evans. Yes.
that Captain America.
Yeah,
guy.
I was like, I don't understand what that
But-
means, but no.
No, Gabe Davis went for 6 receptions, 92 yards, 1 touchdown.
Do
Why
not
don't you like Gabe Davis?
I don't like Gabe Davis purely because I had him on my fantasy team last year, and he would either go for 40 or 2. And every time I needed him to go for 40, he went for 2.
Big boomer bust guy.
Insane. Like, I don't know. I put a lot of faith in him, and he half repaid it, so I'm half okay with him.
Yeah. We'll run through the Titans Chargers real quick. I didn't really want to talk about them because I don't.
We got people up on the chat there. Any words? Any words have said? Nothing. Caleb Williams? Is that what I said?
Caleb Williams season.
For who?
He said Montgomery is out a couple weeks.
Okay. I
David
don't know.
Montgomery. I think he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. That's a hammy. Caleb Williams season for who? Not sure. That's okay though.
Probably the Giant. No, the Cardinals.
Caleb Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be an easy transition.
Yep.
Caleb Williams is looking good.
What
in
about
college.
Kyler Murray though? What happens to Kyler Murray?
He gets shipped off to another team.
To the Raiders.
I could see that happening.
Sure.
No, I could see that happening because Jimmy G is not the guy.
Nope.
I love Jimmy G, but he's not the guy.
Nope.
Titans Chargers won in overtime. The Chargers are doing.
The Titans won? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, the Titans won. Ryan Tannehill did all right, but
is up with
Justin
the
Herbert
Chargers,
had
man?
305 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like the offense is not the problem in LA right now.
The Chargers just need to get something figured out, man.
Yep.
I feel bad.
This one kind of sucked
be a
for
good
me.
team.
Rams lost to the 49ers. Matthew Stafford had 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy did all right. Christian McCaffrey was looking. You know what Christian McCaffrey does?
Beast.
First 5 weeks of the season, beast. Rest of the season, injured or bust, like nothing. He does it every year.
You know what? But I think still the Niners are for real. The
Niners are for real,
Yes.
and we talked about this last week. The
Brock
Niners
Purdy,
are for
Super Bowl MVP.
sure. The Niners are for real because the Niners have to be for real. They have to pay so many guys next offseason that it's going to be a fire sale no matter what. They need to win a Super Bowl.
What would be the better underdog story if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl MVP or Tom Brady?
Brock Purdy all the way.
You think?
Like,
Tom
'cause
Brady
if-
got drafted 199.
Oh, you're talking about Tom Brady's story.
Yes.
I still think Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy's undrafted.
No.
Oh, Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant. So
Still.
essentially undrafted.
Essentially undrafted. But also, Brock Purdy came in at a time where when Brock Purdy came in, it was like, our season's over. Whereas when Tom Brady came in, there was like, yeah, this Tom Brady guy, Bill Belichick likes him, so he must be all right at football. I mean, obviously, nobody anticipated either of these quarterbacks doing as well as they have done in the NFL. But I thought you meant like if Tom Brady came back to the Jets and won a Super Bowl.
No, that's just
Everybody would hate him, actually.
probably.
I think because there's a lot of fan bases that hate Tom Brady already, and then there's a lot of
He would piss off the Patriots for one. Like he literally just did like that whole like I'm a Patriot forever. If he came back to an AFC East team, that's like Manning just coming back out of retirement right now and being like, Texans, I'm your guy.
Yep.
And winning a Super Bowl. I'd be like, why?
What just happened?
Yeah.
What just happened? And additionally,
Not Texans.
the
I probably
Jets,
don't like the
according
Titans
to
more.
a Bleacher Report poll, the Jets are the #1 most hated team in the NFL. So you pair Tom Brady, who
Jets are the #1 most hated?
in the NFL.
What?
Yeah, dude, Jets fans are insufferable.
I like the Jets.
During the Rex Ryan days, the Jets were
Oh, okay. Well, that's
disgusting.
different. Well, yeah.
But
L
like
Jets then.
But like Jets are still pretty hated as a franchise.
I don't
mixed
hate the
with
Jets.
Tom Brady, who is the greatest quarterback of all time.
Fine.
But at the same time, not liked by a lot of franchises. That's a nice little combination there. Speaking of the Jets, they got their doors blown off by the Cowboys. What are your early season thoughts on the Cowboys?
The exact same as every year. They'll look really good for a little bit, then they're not going to be great, and then they're going to win maybe 1 or 2 games in the playoffs, and then they're going to lose and get bounced by probably the Niners or the Eagles, and then everyone's going to say, what about them boys? What happened to them boys? And then the season starts again, and Jerry Jones is still there. gets older every year. Everything happens the same way every single time. Nothing is different. Nothing has changed. It's the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Moving on, Broncos, Commanders. The Denver Broncos, man.
It's our year.
It's our year.
Sorry.
Honestly, though,
That last second touchdown, I was like about to get super hype. I'm like, this is awesome. Hail Mary, and then,
failed 2-point conversion.
so none of it mattered.
Not pretty. I will say, though, quietly, Washington Commanders are 2-0, and Sam Howell.
Commanders are 2-0?
Well, I mean, they played the Broncos and the Cardinals, but
Okay.
come
on.
But his first game, 202 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 77.6% passer rating, 299 yards against the Broncos with 2 touchdowns, 108 passer rating. He's averaging 64% completion, 92.4%.
They're playing the Broncos.
But still.
And the Cardinals, though.
But sometimes a young quarterback needs that. Coming into a new starting
Whatever.
job, maybe he needed that. And he got that.
Kyler Murray to the Titans. Wait,
Kyler
no.
Murray to the Titans.
No, that makes no sense.
No, because they don't like a running quarterback
No.
like that. Honestly,
They have Malik Willis and Will Levis, too.
if the
Never
Pats
mind.
if the Pats like don't have any faith in their quarterback, I could see Kyler Murray going to the Pats.
To the Patriots?
Yeah.
Oh.
They took on Cam Newton.
Bring back Bailey Zappi.
No.
Bring him back.
No.
Bring him back.
Speaking of the Patriots, Dolphins beat the Patriots. Dolphins are 2-0. Tua's looking good.
Also
That-
another meh.
That run game's
Primetime
looking good.
game.
Oh, it was definitely a meh primetime game.
There's been a lot of meh primetime games.
Well, I think the first couple weeks of the year are always pretty meh primetime
because,
games.
because the Monday night games were both meh.
Because they're letting the NFL admin marketing team pick which teams they want primetime, and they know nothing.
Yeah, because the Saints and the Panthers was
Once-
definitely a good choice.
Once they start flexing later in the season, we'll get
Flexing,
good primetime games. Yeah. Speaking of Saints-Panthers, it was fine.
It's a game that occurred.
Or Saints are 2-0, Panthers are 0-2.
Nobody wants to hear us talk about the Saints and the Panthers
No.
game. No, I don't.
But
Why are we even saying anything?
Steelers did come back to beat the Browns. Looked pretty good.
Yay.
Look-
Oh, wait, the Steelers won?
The Steelers did come back
I
to beat the
literally
Browns.
did not. It was like, this is boring.
Honestly, though, here's the big person we talk about. Don't care about the Browns. Don't care about anybody on offense. Let's talk about, where's he at? TJ Watt. 2 tackles, 1 big sack, and 1 fumble recovery for a
Did see
touchdown.
that. Yep.
Gotta love TJ Watt.
Money.
Also, did you see Gunner? I cannot say his last name. Ozlowski.
Sure.
He was their kick returner, the Steelers.
Oh.
And he caught it. He caught a kick return that was heading out of bounds, and he toe tapped to catch the kick return. It was at like the 15-yard line,
Okay.
and they got pinned at the 15. Where if it went out, they would have been at the 35.
Dumb.
So Mike Tomlin was not happy about that.
That's when you know. That tells me right there you don't know ball.
Me?
No.
Oh, him.
Him.
I was gonna say
Not you.
I definitely don't
You
know
know,
as much
I-
ball
no.
as an NFL player.
No, correct.
For sure.
That's-
Definitely not. I think I could get in there.
That's
though.
not a heads up move. Who is Logan Salzbrenner? No. No. No.
Hey, welcome back, folks.
Ah.
That was like nightmare material. If you're on the live, it just went dark and everything's buzzing.
Ah.
That
All right,
was a
continue.
little crazy. But shout out Logan Salzbrenner for
Shout out.
calling.
Yeah, Wayne producer. Pause to.
Lives,
Oh, okay, we're
lives
back.
having
We're back.
fun.
We're back. I'm sorry. Wayne. She's at Wayne now in Fort Wayne. I'll probably give her a call back after this. And I definitely will. Shout out Logan. Shout out Wayne. Shout out Wayne 15. Shout out Fort Wayne. Shout out
Indiana as a whole.
Indiana. Shout out the Midwest. Shout out America. Shout out the world. Shout out North America.
Do you think you do well under pressure?
No. Wait, what?
Because like,
You have fire in your gut?
you take the bus to work today.
I did. I took your
Did
car.
you take the bus or did you walk?
I walked. Why?
That does wrap up the NFL slate of games. To end the show, a
Wait,
little.
why? What do you mean about me under pressure?
Like you under pressure. Logan called you, and our live got a little funky, and you just went wild and listed off the people to shout out.
Hey, I was live on TV this summer.
including the
I was
the
fine.
state of Indiana. You shouted out.
I shout out the whole the Hoosier Nation. Okay, All the Hoosiers.
What is a Hoosier?
I've looked this up a couple times.
I'll take the
and
Indiana hate for this, but what?
I've looked this up a couple times, and no one is 100% sure.
Here's what somebody told me my first couple months living in Indiana at Ball State.
Yeah.
I said something like, "What the heck is a Hoosier?"
Yeah, great question.
Great question.
I don't.
Because like if you like
know.
Michigan, people from Michigan, Michiganders. People from New York, New Yorkers. Floridians. Like it goes with it.
Ohioans.
Why do you gotta bring Ohio into the
Ohioers?
Hey, we don't need to talk about
We're good.
Ohioites.
Ohioites.
We don't need to talk about
Ohites,
dude. Okay. We do not need to talk about
Ohioites.
that state down south.
Ohioans.
But like Indiana, Hoosiers. Like it doesn't even relate to the state. But somebody told me it was because apparently there's a lot of cornfields in Indiana, which I don't think there's a lot of. I think there's like a lot of agriculture.
Here's
in
the thing: you're telling a completely different story than the story that I was thinking. So
okay, well, I want to hear your story when I'm done.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically, somebody told me that they spend a lot of time in like farm fields.
Okay.
And they would go, "Who's there?" Except if they say it too many times, it's like Hoosier or Hoosier, and they're yelling it from far away, and they say Hoosiers.
Now here's a different story. See, this is why no one really knows, and I'd like to know, and it'd probably be a better thing to know. Is there a funny comment or something?
No, one of our listeners, Zachary Kendall, was like, "Billy Zape is on the active roster for the Patriots." We know, or Bailey Zapp. Ugh.
Billy Zape.
You know who I think of every time I say his name?
Billy Zape.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zape.
I tried. Okay, I tried.
Bailey Zappi. Anyway,
I think of Billy Zane. That's every time.
Okay.
Either way, he said Bailey Zapp's on the active roster. We
Maybe
know.
he is.
We're just saying like bring him back. Like, who needs Mac Jones when you have that guy from Western Kentucky?
Give me Zaps. Anyway, so the story that I've looked up and have tried to figure out as well. So there was this guy in Kentucky who would hire a bunch of people from Indiana. And his last name was like Hoosier or something like that, or Hauser or whatever. And people who came from Indiana to Kentucky to work for this guy to cross the border, they're called Hoosier men, and then just shortened to Hoosiers.
Okay, so next week's episode, Andy and I will do some research over the week and bring a declarative answer to this. But to round out this week's episode, we're going to try a segment. We do a lot of trying of segments. I don't know if segments always stay. I mean, we were pretty consistent with hot takes. But this is the same, relatively the same, and I like it because it's earlier in the season. We're going to go with Week 2 NFL overreactions. So the way I explained it to Andy, who was monumentally confused before we started recording.
I was.
Was if you looked just at this game, only this game, nothing else, the entire season.
Yes.
What would you expect from that team? Like, what's one take that you would expect from that team? So I'll start. I'm going to say the Chargers was my first pick. The Chargers are doing everything right now, but everything right now except for playing defense.
Wow.
No, not defense. Offense. I'm sorry. Their offense is in the garbage can. Like, Chargers as a team are not doing well because of that one aspect. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, based on their performance this weekend. Sorry, not offense. Why did I say offense? Defense.
Yeah, I
was gonna say.
I'm just letting you go.
Let me go. But no, defense. I mean defense, because Herbert had 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen was all over the board. Their run game is a little slow. I'll say their run game is a little slow. But if I were to overreact, I would say defensively is going to be the reason why the Chargers do not make the playoffs this year.
All right. Here's my overreaction based off of this game. Anthony Richardson wins Rookie of the Year.
Well, I mean...
he was the Rookie of the Week,
It has
according to NFL Red Zone, by the way.
Okay.
And he only played for a quarter. So,
All right. All right.
Hey,
I'll-
2 touchdowns.
I'll bounce off that with like my fourth one. It's like my,
Fourth one.
We each have 3, but this will be my 3.5 because it's more of a commentary. I think Gardner Minshew can and will be a starter elsewhere next season.
Oh, that's just a genuine. That's not an overreaction.
It's like a reaction.
It's something.
It's not an underreaction.
It's a whelmed reaction, not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed. Whelmed.
At height. Whelmed.
Whelmed.
Just
whelmed.
Whelmed.
Why is no one whelmed? People are overwhelmed, underwhelmed. Why is no one whelmed?
I'm whelmed right now. Are you whelmed?
I'm whelmed.
I'm pretty whelmed.
I'm whelmed.
Okay. My second overreaction.
It's a reference.
Bryce Young is a bust. Bryce Young will not have a successful NFL career.
Okay.
What do you think?
I know.
You don't think so?
Dude, Peyton Manning had the most interceptions
Okay.
as a rookie. His I was going to say freshman year. His rookie year. And Dog is probably the second best quarterback of all time.
It is an overreaction. It is an overreaction. But
you cannot tell that based on 2 weeks of football.
I know. That's the point.
I know. You're overreacting. Wait, I get to say. I'm kidding. No, stop. Sit down. I want to talk. We're talking.
Oh my Lord! I needed like a leave the chair
Whatever.
for that.
Yeah. Okay. Here's mine. Lions are first round playoff exit.
You know what? Playoffs at all would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think
Based on that game?
I think you're overreacting.
Based on that game?
I think you're overreacting.
I might be.
I think you're overreacting.
I might be.
Here's my reaction to
Okay.
the Vikings game. Kirk Cousins will lead the league in passing yards.
Big
But
Kirko
but the Vikings will get bounced in the first round because of their horrendous defense.
does not wake up dripping like this. That sucks.
Yeah, I know.
You like that?
You like that.
No.
He doesn't even do it anymore. Like, he didn't make
You
it.
like
He didn't make. Okay. For the non-NFL fans, when he played for the Commanders, then called the Redskins, he had was it primetime?
I don't even know if it
Basically, he had a game where he was under a lot of pressure, and he performed really, really well. And then he was like walking back to the locker room, and there was like media cameras, and he just screams,
You like that.
"You like that?
Yeah.
You like that?" And he was like, "I proved it. Like, I'm this good." And he never, like, if it was me, I would have made a T-shirt out of it. I would have made it my phrase. I would have yelled it all the time. And I think they do a little bit in Vikings camp. But, but like
You like that?
You like that?
Big Kirko wakes up dripping like this. Dress rehearsal. Big Kirko wakes up dripping like this.
That's the intro right there.
Yeah.
That is right. The just quiet and that.
Just dress rehearsal. Big Kirko wakes up dripping like this.
Okay, you got to stop saying that. It's weird.
I'm sorry.
It's weirding me out now. Your final overreaction.
The Chiefs do not make it back to the AFC Championship.
I can see that.
Is that not an overreaction?
No, but they really this upcoming offseason, they need a wide receiver one. They need a big wide receiver one.
Yeah, but I think that there are other teams that could probably bounce them out of the playoffs if they continue to play in the same way that they played before in these past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which again, they'll probably figure it out, and I'm probably overreacting. But Chiefs, as of right now, are not a team that I can see making it past the divisional round of the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
One more thing before we wrap it up. What's your fantasy football record right now?
I have 4 leagues.
4 leagues.
4 leagues. 2 of them are for money.
Too much time in your hands.
Not really. I'm kind of spread thin with my fantasy this year. I don't know. I feel like there's something a little different about fantasy this year. There's not a whole lot of people to pick up in my leagues. Like, there's been like no one that I'm like, dang, I really need them off the waiver wire this week.
I won't lie though. I pick up Hayden Hurst off the waiver wire just because I wanted some tight end depth. He did all right.
I think we have too many bench people in my one league.
Yeah.
We have an 8-person bench.
I will say a pickup I was really proud of. I mean, this is post draft. I picked up Rashad White. I think I picked him up in a trade, but still. And then I picked up Tutu Atwell as well. Tutu Atwell went for 11.7, and White went for 18. Like,
wow.
I was pretty happy with those pickups.
So in my main league, I am up 2-0 on the year, and in my secondary league, also for money, I'm 1-1, but I lost week 1 by 0.7 points, and the only reason I lost was the Jets' overtime touchdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
not bad.
No, it's not fun. I mean, that was depressing. You? What do we got? Roll it out.
So this is confusing. I'm in a league, and it is a 4-money league, but I'm 2-2. We've only played 2 games though.
What?
I
is it because do you guys also do the record where like if you don't score above this, like the median of like the mean of the league score for that week, then you don't win?
I don't know. I might have to ask my commissioner.
I think that's what it is because like I would assume that's how it works because if you have more than, which I kind of don't hate. I do not hate that thought process when you're playing fantasy football because while I understand the 2-team matchup thing that makes it like football, if you score like 130 points and the person you playing scores 135 and the rest of the league is scoring like 70s, I'd be so mad that you just got screwed with that one matchup.
Yeah.
But I mean, fantasy football isn't really like the NFL in that aspect. So
I will say,
I think it has to be that.
I'm looking to join a dynasty league.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever have.
Hear me out.
I don't like it. I like starting with a clean slate.
You and me, and let's pick up a couple guys that we know who would participate. Elijah Poe, maybe. Kyle Smedley would. Zuver would participate. Let's get like an 8-person dynasty league.
That's a thought.
It's also how you stay connected after college.
That's true. That's how I'm staying connected with my friends after high school.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
I read a story about a guy and his friend group. It was probably like 20 friends, which, by the way, huge friend group. But
that's a lot of friends.
A bunch of friends. They get together every year and they compare each guy's year. Like if they had a kid, if they got a new job, if they got a promotion, if they ran a marathon. Like
who got a promotion?
They compare their accolades and they vote on one guy to win Man of the Year in their friend group. It's pretty crazy, right?
20 guys is nuts, though.
Pretty nuts.
I have like 20 friends,
but like
not close.
Cross-pollinated.
No,
like,
cross-pollinated.
Yeah, like they don't know my other friends. Like
I know all my friends know my other friends.
Like they know them, but they're not. They don't know them.
They come for poker.
Yeah, like acquaintances.
Yeah. Yes, or friend, but not like friend.
I know what you mean.
Yes.
All right.
Everyone knows what I mean.
On that note,
Big Kirko knows what I mean because he wakes up
dripping
like this.
Okay. that just on that note, we'll wrap up week 2 of the podcast. As a reminder, make sure to follow us on socials at knuckleheads.sportspod on Instagram, where we will be going live Tuesdays at 2 from now on.
Tuesdays at 2.
Tuesdays at 2 p.m. I'm gonna change it in my calendar. You better change it in your calendar. Andy, you better change it in your calendar.
I'm changing
Tuesdays
it.
at 2. That also makes it easier. So we never last week we discussed the Monday Night Football game, which I thought was weird, especially because we published the show after Monday Night Football. So
it didn't make sense.
Yeah, we're trying to make more sense in this last year of the Underqualified Knuckleheads. Soon until we're qualified.
Until we're qualified.
We got to prove it though.
I got to get that piece of paper.
You got to get that.
I got to get that paper.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week, but make sure you take the bus
and get some fire in your gut.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right. We'll see you.
Goodbye.